Awesome.
Yes, my shit right here. So that's my shit right here. Welcome back to another episode of Road to William. Today we're focusing on Zaya and her father, Dwayne Wade. And they just dropped a new website. And all I've been hearing is nothing but negativity about this. So I decided to do my own research, see the positive sides of everything, and we're going to vibe out. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and if you've done all of that already, make sure you share this video, get the word out, get the positive word out. Not only is it Pride Month, every day should be a day for us to learn and grow and to support each other, regardless of gender, identity, gender, uh, ethnicity, all status, all of that. I know people are like, duh, of course, it doesn't happen. All I've seen is negative feeds from our people. Am I shocked? No. But is it annoying? Yes. Okay. Let's get to it. Before we get to the website, I do want to dive into a few videos that I haven't seen, but I think would be helpful before we dive into their project. And this was one. It's a conversation between Fat Joe and Dwayne Wade. Now, I have some thoughts on Fat Joe. He be saying the N word, and I just feel like if you're not black, you should have no business saying it. There are people who disagree. I know people who disagree, and that's okay. We can disagree, but in all actuality, but we're gonna vibe out, okay? Like, and we're gonna vibe out.
We're just trying to figure out as much information we can to make sure.
So let's hear what they have to say.
My daughter's 14. She went to school with him, but every little kid my daughter's 14. She went to school with him, but every little kid I know knows your son, the Bronx son. They know like the hype is. I don't know if the right word is homo. The Bronx. I'm going through it now. We grew up, like you said, Southside Chicago. I grew up the Bronx. Very, I don't know if the right word is homophobic, or we have family members that are gay and nobody want to admit it, or nobody wanted this and that. To touch just the lightest, because this is Joe, bro, right? You my brother, and you stop me right now, but Zaya, what was that like for you to embrace it and support your daughter like that? You know what I mean? Because what was that for you? Because you D Wade, Yeah, for sure, man. You know what? Like, I go back to being a father and having kids, right? So being a young father, when I had Zaire, he was a boy. Of course, I want him to play basketball. That's what we do. Put that ball in his hand. Let's go, right? And once he loved it, it was easy. Then I have Zaya a couple years later, and to do the same thing. I want to play basketball. Let's go. Put that ball in your hand. Let's go. And as I got older, as I started to be a parent, I started to love my kids unconditionally. I started to sit back and realize that Zaya did not want to play basketball, did not want to play baseball, did not want to do none of those things, and we were forcing it on her. And so I sat back and I watched, and when Zaya was about 3 years old, she was about 3 years old. Me and my wife had a conversation about the possibility of her coming home one day saying that she was gay. And at that time, I didn't know if I was ready for it, because I have never experienced what I've known of. I have never been around anyone that has been openly gay, or that has been in my family or close to me. So I didn't know how to really respond. I didn't know how to deal with it. You jumping on 7-footers, you tough, you be way to deal with that issue. It's got to be hard. You know what? But what happened was, though, Fat, what happened, I went to my room and I looked in the mirror and I looked at myself. And I said that if she does come home and say that she is gay, what are you going to do? right? We talk about as parents, we talk about this word called unconditional love. We talk about we would do anything for our kids, right? Unconditional love. And we say we would do anything for our kids. So I had to go look myself in the face. And I had to ask myself that question. What are you gonna do, bro? Right? So then I had to start listening different. I had to start educating myself on a possibility. Not before I knew, but we felt it. So when she came at 9 years old and said, Dad, this is what I am, I was prepared for it, I was ready for it, and I was already educating other people on why we should not say these words and why we should not deem or look down on someone because they're not like us, right? Just like us. And so, man, it was easy for me by the time she came out and said, and now the hardest part about this whole thing is that we're public figures. And being a public figure means that people are going to take shots at you all the time. You can take shots at me all day, but when you take shots at my family, now I got a problem. But I was allowing the public figure part of me as a father not post my child because I didn't want the comments to be talking about my kid. And then I got to a point where I said, once again, it's about you. It's not about her. You show love to your kids. Don't X her out because of some comments of what people are going to say, right? Because a lot of people out here in the comments, they're uneducated on life. They're in this bubble of life of this is what you've been taught. My oldest son is autistic, nonverbal, can't walk. And for a long time, I've always been proud of my kid. We raised him. He's happiest in the world, Joey. Yeah. But I was scared to throw Joey up on social media because I know there's cruel and there's bad people out there that would take shots at Joey. And so, you know, when I finally did it one day, it was like, oh my God, we all got autistic kids. We all got autistic kids in our family. Thank you, Joe, for embracing this. I know how tough it is. 100. So, you know, when you started it, I believe the word was unconditional love. And what everyone needs to ask themselves is, do you truly have unconditional love for your kids no matter what?
I remember one time I came out to a family member. I had to have been about 15. And the person was cool with it in terms of they were cool with it in their eyes because they said, I know, you know, that's not part of our side of the family, you know what I mean? And the funny thing is, no, I'm not about to do that. That was funny. But people say things thinking they're being helpful when really they're not. And for me, as a teen, I accepted whatever because it was like, well, most people don't accept, you know, their family. And I was just taking the scraps. You know, I got older and you look back on things and you're like, never been a dick. But people also don't like that Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, they like support their daughter. They don't like that. Gabrielle Union did a speech a while back. I'm gonna let y'all hear it.
Thank you, guys.
More young people to hate themselves or harm themselves that don't cost people their lives.
What I've been seeing a lot on the internet is people bashing Gabrielle and Dwayne, saying, oh, you're pushing your daughter to be trans and all that. And let me speak to that as a trans person. Ain't no way somebody gonna push me to be trans. No one pushed me at all. The ones I was around and who were proud about it and lived in who they are fully without any societal attachments pushing on them made me feel more hopeful, more free to be who I am, to be more free with me. You have to live with yourself and it's up to you to be who you are, to change. And it's hard to do that. Everyone can't do that. All youth can't do that. I couldn't do that as a youth. It wasn't until college where I was able to even be open about who I'm dating. And once you and it's hard to give advice to something I didn't experience. I didn't have we didn't have the access to be fully who we are. When I did come out, even in college, there were some people with some I couldn't bring my significant other to holiday events. Oh, if you claim that's your girlfriend, then don't bring her. Things like that. To go back and hide, it's not worth it. Not for me and my mental. So we about to
Hi. How are you? Good. I'm so nervous, but how are you?
Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union's daughter couldn't help but be a little starstruck when meeting one of her idols. Zaya Wade fanned out over Michelle Obama this week when the pair teamed up for a virtual chat about the former First Lady's best-selling memoir, Becoming. And the teen admitted she was nervous to realize such a long-standing dream of hers was coming true.
What's going on? Tell me, what's on your mind?
I'm just nervous, but really excited.
Don't be nervous.
I'm meeting an idol. I'm literally meeting an idol. But just preparing for this moment so long.
13-year-old Zaya asked Michelle what advice she has for young people who want to follow her example of pursuing their dreams with inspiring confidence. And Michelle confessed that she thinks Zaya is the one delivering an important message of empowerment.
I mean, I am just so proud of you, being just an amazing role model and embracing your truth, right? You're already doing this, so maybe this is for some other young people that are listening.
I feel.
But let me just say, it does take time to know what your self is, for young people. So my first piece of advice is be patient with yourself. Number one, at your age or in the teenage years and probably through your 20s, you're going to be experimenting with so many versions of yourself, right? All young people are trying on different versions, different voices. They're learning more about their intellect. They're learning about what they love, what they're good at, what they like. This is the period of exploration, right? And sometimes we put too much pressure on teenagers to know who you're going to be. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Right.
That's what I write. It was a question that I hated. How am I supposed to? I'm 13. I'm 12. You're not supposed to know yet.
Zaya's famous parents shared their love and support for her milestone in the comments section, with Gabrielle calling the teen such a star. The duo clearly get along like besties and enjoy some epic collabs of their own. Just days before Zaya's conversation with Michelle, she and Gabrielle recreated one of the most memorable scenes from the.
now let's dive into, but to again to speak on people saying, oh, they're forcing her to do this. You don't force the things that I was forced to do. Younger, it was more like you only date men or boys, and one day you're gonna get married, you're gonna have kids, and this is these steps that they have you do. And anytime I went against that, I didn't feel those things. I always felt ashamed, and I felt like God doesn't, want to bless me, or He doesn't want to hear from me unless I'm doing these things everybody else saying I should do. So back in the day, I would always pray to, okay, let me not like girls, let me not like this and that. And the struggle of really knowing who God is, the struggle of trying to connect in the church, knowing I didn't agree with a lot of things they thought, was hard for me growing up. It was hard. But as I got older, I think my family could see that I wasn't going to be going down the same path as everybody else in my family was. And that could make them feel ashamed and want to hide. And so for people to say they're forcing her to be trans is completely wrong. You don't force anyone to go on a path like that, because just as hard as it is to ignore your true feelings and live on, that's hard too. I've done that. To force someone to go on a route that is very dangerous and harmful, and has many ups and downs, and is a target and no one takes them serious. I remember overhearing my dad saying, like, I just don't want you to go through these things that queer people go to. He didn't say queer. And years ago, he didn't say queer, but he didn't want me to have to experience the hurt that comes along with it or whatnot. The people in here, I mean, look on the internet, look at the comments, look at how people treat people in public. Like, I think to push to be more yourself is what they are doing. To push to be more like who you want to be and not how everybody else wants you to be. So when people say they're pushing her to be trans, that's wrong. You're pushing her to be herself. And the people who aren't taking that or understanding that don't understand. You're misinterpreting because you are transphobic, homophobic. You don't like it. It don't follow in your guide. I'm gonna keep it pushing. I'm about to get me pissed. We're about to check out their website. I have the link in the description. It's Translatable Project, and let's see what they talking about. So, welcome to Translatable. We're so glad you're here. Translatable is a safe space for LGBTQIA plus youth to express themselves and is a resource hub for their parents, families, and support systems. As we grow, check back for new content, resource guides, and interactive features. Thank you for being here. Please sign up for email updates below. Let's hear what they say on the video.
Welcome to Translatable. I'm Dwayne Wade.
And I'm Zaya Wade, and yeah, welcome to Translatable. Translatable aims to serve as a community safe space for youth to express themselves through a number of creative outlets. Here at Translatable, we focus on communities of color, center the most marginalized, and emphasize the importance of parents and family.
Translatable is also a resource hub for parents, families, and support system of the LGBTQIA plus youth. For our family, we were blessed to have a community of supporters and knowledgeable experts who could swiftly arm us with the tools we needed to support Zaya in her journey. We recognize the lack of digestible and relatable information available to youth and families, especially communities of color. And to this day, we are still learning. I'm so very proud of the daughter that I've had the opportunity to raise. She has been my biggest educator and inspiration of what it means to be true to you. That's why it's so important to create a collaborative space for the community to participate in the conversation and express themselves freely.
Now, that sounds fun. Over the next few months, we'll be rolling out content, resource guides, and interactive features where we can hear from you.
We want to emphasize that the learning never stops. You can expect to see ever evolving content and resources to keep you up to date on Translatable.
So make sure to sign up for email updates. We're just getting started.
Lit,
Welcome to
lit. Translatable Community, the Human Rights Campaign, the Trevor Project, Zaya and Dwayne. This is Zaya, Dwayne's daughter. She loves fashion. I have a photo. She loves fashion, reading science fiction, and singing like no one's listening. On an average day, you can catch her studying on a college tour, class of 2025, or maybe even on your nearest runway. Wade Family Foundation. The Wade family is a modern day family by every definition, a mirror to society, sometimes showing a reflection, sometimes showing the future of what society could be. The Wade Family Foundation is an activation lab for the family's core values, responding in real time to issues that touch their hearts and minds. This is Dwayne. He's Zaya's dad. He loves long walks on the beach, takes nail care, very seriously. Oh, and he's a 3 times NBA champion, gold medalist, owns a few businesses, and Hall of Famer. No big deal. Okay. I'm gonna have to ask my cousin Ashley the different businesses he has. She's an NBA, she's a basketball guru, and I don't say that lightly at all. Born out of modern day narratives of love, acceptance, gratitude, loyalty, community, and equity, the Wade family authentically shares who they are and boldly offers their point of view on issues that matter, always inviting others into the conversation. And then they got a submission box. We want to see you on this page. Submit your art, poems, photography, thoughts, suggestions, uncurated, raw expression, doodles, and scribbles are welcome. It's a place where the queer youth can vibe out without the harassment of transphobic, homophobic people. Point blank, period. Want to be friends? Join our email list and stay in touch with things translatable. Okay, so we'll come back maybe toward the end of the summer. They got an Instagram. I think I follow them already. I'm on Instagram too, Road to William. I post every day. Let's see, there was an article from Vibe magazine. Dwayne Wade and daughter Zaya launched Translatable in support of trans youth. She wanted to create a space that felt safe for parents and their kids. That's what Translatable is. It's for people of color specifically. And I like that too because people of color are the most, if not the main ones, they are, that hide their kids or tell them, that it's wrong to be queer of any sort. And okay, check out Vibe. But yeah, a lot of people have been hating. A lot of people have been hating, and I don't like that. It gets us absolutely nowhere. And shout out to the Wade family. Shout out to Dwayne and Gabrielle. Shout out to Zaya because for them to be open about it and they are in the public eye. I mean, they're already in the public eye already, but to live out your truth in the public eye is a different story. And the ones who aren't afraid to be themselves, regardless public eye or not, is the ones we have to tip our hats to. Because not a lot of people can do that. You're going to inspire a lot of people to do that, make families better. I mean, everyone's biggest fear is, oh, the queer people or the trans people, or don't put it on the youth. That's all out there. That's the worst thing that can happen to the youth is them identifying who they feel they are. Wrong. Not to me. You need to focus on loving them, being in their lives, listening to them, caring for them. What do they like to do? Like Dwayne said earlier in the video, he was trying to push basketball on Zaya. And he realized, okay, she doesn't want to do that. We don't need to push sports. That's not her thing. I think you just need to listen to your kids and not try and force what force is people who are forcing them not to be who they are. That's what's hurting the youth. Is y'all forcing them to not be themselves. That causes additional mental health issues, additional problems. You're gonna see your kids push further away from you, not feel like they can't be comfortable talking to you because you're gonna flip out or you're gonna automatically shun them or brush it off like whatever. For the people who are out there, my trans people, my non-binary people, I'm giving all the love to y'all today and forever because the journey in itself can be a struggle. But on a positive note, it can be so joyful once you can be who you are. It can be, I mean, it's like an up and down to everything. But there's so many ups when you can be yourself. Yeah, that's what I have for y'all today. Be on the lookout for more videos. Thumbs up this video. Comment your thoughts and subscribe if you haven't already. Dang. Yeah. What we do today? Yeah.